Ben Shapiro is still with me. Now, Ben, 4 years ago, you were pretty scathing in your criticism of rap and hip-hop.
From the outside, when I listen to hip-hop, I don't hear a lot of family-oriented messages. In fact, I hear a lot of messages that are degrading to women. I hear messages that push violence, that are disparaging to the police. I hear messages very often that seem to treat relationships between men and women as something disposable or glorify mistreatment.
Yet here you are, the same Ben Shapiro, the rap hater. Here's a clip from your #1 hit.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a wap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison. I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
So, first question. How do we get from that first clip to the second one?
You know, life is a journey, Piers. And I've decided to take that journey one step at a time. Just never know what life is going to throw your way. If my parents had known when they spent thousands of dollars on 15 years of classical violin lessons with some of the best teachers in the world, that my musical career would culminate in me at the top of the world rap charts, I can only think that they would be incredibly proud. And just so proud that they spent all of that time so that I wouldn't at least clap on 1 and 3. So that's very, very exciting stuff. And yes, I mean, we're taking over the industry from the inside. Tom MacDonald is the real talent behind all of that, obviously. Tom can actually rap. Tom is actually good at this. The entire joke of me being part of the rap is, I think, the funniest thing in the world. And I'm really enjoying a lot of the reaction videos, which people hysterically laughing at the fact that I even attempt such a thing. So, good for Tom and good for everybody who's sort of in on the prank, because I think there's an actual very good shot that we end up at the Billboard #1.
No question. And I think you should, because it's based around facts, which is from your great quote, facts don't care about your feelings. I think it's your pinned tweet. It's had gazillions of people who like it. And I've always liked that because it kind of sums up to me the facade of wokery, which is that it's all feeling driven and very rarely fact driven. And in fact, all the lyrics of this, which, you send up rap music very, very cleverly, but also in Tom's lyrics, go woke, go broke, no hope, it's pathetic, pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, your progressives, and so on and so on. Where are the American flags at? Remember when people would hang those, they'd been taken down, replaced with BLM flags or a rainbow, and so on. It will hit a nerve with people who feel like their country is no longer somewhere that they feel comfortable in or recognise, because the woke brigade have made everyone, or tried to make everyone, feel so ashamed of what it means to be an American or what it means to be British.
I think that's exactly right. It's why Tom has resonated so much as an independent artist. Now, the fact is that there are a lot of systemic kind of barriers to entry for a song like some of the ones that Tom has made before, which are very right-wing, which are very conservative in orientation. And I think that a lot of the resonance that you're seeing to this is a rejection of many of the values that I'm actually talking about in that clip from one of my shows, where I'm talking about the sort of stuff that rap is promoting. And we're trying to promote the exact opposite. One of the lyrics in the song that Tom actually raps is that we are not going to turn your sons into thugs or your daughters into hoes, meaning like we're actually trying to promote social responsibility and good citizenship in a rap, which is, again, I think part of the humor, but hopefully some people listen to it and they think, well, maybe, there's an alternative point of view that's worth listening to here.
You know what's always got my goat about it? It's the ridiculous double standard. And I'll give an example. When John Legend decided to take upon himself to rewrite the lyrics to Baby It's Cold Outside, one of the most innocent songs and videos ever created in music history. And yet he decided to cleanse it up to make it Me Too friendly, because apparently it was involving sexual assault, although everybody knows it wasn't. But he didn't say a word about any of his rap friends and their truly disgusting, violent, misogynist lyrics. It didn't cross his mind to rewrite one of those, because that wouldn't have given him street credibility. That would have damaged him. Whereas playing we've got to clean up this shocking Baby It's Cold Outside, that was a virtue signalling winner.
Oh, absolutely. The attempt to wipe away history, to wipe away old culture. Because old culture is bad, and we have better values now. And that stops right at the front door when it comes to rap. When it comes to hip-hop and rap, I mean, any song that you pick up is going to be the most retrograde values that you ever heard. If you're a progressive and you listen to rap, I'm not sure exactly how you square that, frankly, because a lot of the stuff that's promoted in rap is mistreatment of women, treating of women as commodities, drugs, and the attempt to promote violence. I mean, all these messages are really bad, and kids do, in fact, imbibe them. So if we can send that up at the same time that we're doing something successful like this, and also do something as hilarious as, put Jew Life Crew over here at the top of the rap charts, then that's a win for everybody.
There was a touch of the M&M's about you. I've got to say M&M's about you. The hoodie, the whole look, the movements, everything.
Oh, yeah. Ben M.
Ben M, we've got it. That's the one. I was watching you talking to Jordan Peterson, I think it was a couple of days ago, and he was saying, we're talking about society and where it's all gone, and he was like, once you reach a point where people can't say what a woman is, society's kind of gone so nuts, it's very hard to work out what we're living in. And I'm sure that in 20 years' time, we'll look back and think, what the hell was going on? And how did we ever let this happen? We've got to the stage now where Leah Thomas, this infamous transgender swimmer in America, who's decimating women's sport in the swimming pool, now wants to compete in the Olympics and literally steal a place in the American Olympic team, if she's successful in this appeal, from a biological female. What do you think about this?
I mean, again, it's absurd, but I think it goes to something we were talking about earlier. And we were talking about sort of the rise of conspiracism. The reason that so many conspiracy theories seem less conspiratorial than they used to is because there are, in fact, a cadre of elites, particularly in sort of legacy media, who promote ideas that are so counter to just basic common sense and then demand that you actually abide by those ideas, that you repeat the nostrums and the aphorisms over and over in almost Maoist struggle session ways that, of course, a lot of people are feeling like there's a sort of conspiracy of people who don't share your values and are attempting to cram those down on you. The problem is, of course, when that metastasizes into broader critiques of this racial group or that racial group, that starts to get really, really dangerous. But yes, I mean, the simple fact that the question of man versus woman, do they exist, is up for debate, says that there is something fundamentally sick about the society. Now, it's my view that the only way that you can actually rebuild society is you can't do it top down. You actually have to do it bottom up, which is why when people ask me, what can I do to help? Because politics it's so hard. I mean, there's so much stuff going on and the world's on fire and everything. The best thing you can do, be a responsible husband, if you're a man, be a responsible parent, be a responsible citizen, be a member of your religious community, build the local institutions that actually facilitate trust. And then you can build those up such that broader institutions can be built on top of that. But it's going to require a full rebuilding effort.
Yeah, it is. One of the things I really like about you, Ben, apart from the fact you're staggeringly successful businessman through the portal of your opinions, which I'm fully signed up to, is that you're very comfortable and willing, in fact eager, to get into the debating fray with people who completely disagree with you. You're quite happy to engage with the enemy in that sense. But we live in an era where so many people are now too terrified to do that. They only want to exist in their tribe, driven by social media. What do we do about that?
I mean, frankly, I think that all you can do is try to use your platform to talk with people of various sides who disagree with you. Now, again, I think that there is such a thing as an Overton window, right? I'm not interested in sitting down with somebody who's espousing the murder of all Jews, for example. I agree with you. There is such a thing as the Overton window. With that said, I think that good faith conversations happening across the aisle is deeply important, not only because it clarifies positions, but also it does rebuild that social trust that is clearly falling apart. Because one of the biggest problems we have is what I've termed sort of the happy birthday problem, which is, you're a public figure, Piers. How many people do you know who will text you happy birthday but will not tweet it for fear that they might receive blowback simply for recognizing that you were born of woman? That sort of problem is the sort of thing that I think fundamentally carves away at a society. Because if we can't at least acknowledge that we're part of the same civilization, that we share probably 80% of our values, even if we disagree strenuously on the other 20%, that's not a civilization that can be preserved.
No, I agree. Ben, we've run out of time. I love talking to you. Please come back whenever you can fit us in. The Ben Shapiro Show is fantastic. The Daily Wire is fantastic. I love the uncensored opinions you bring, and I love you coming on Uncensored. So thank you very much indeed for joining me.